Hello, 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 my beautiful people. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Today, y'all, today is day what? Today, today's the 25th, and today's day 6. My God, today. My God, today. Alrighty, y'all. It's your girl Ness of Glam by Ness, and welcome to my corner here on YouTube where beauty essentially meets real life, y'all. Okay, so let's glow together. And um, I like to kick it off with an affirmation. And our affirmation for our live today is I am safe, I am provided for, and overflowing. I love that. I am safe, I am provided for, and overflowing. Doesn't it just make you feel really good, right? All right, y'all. I'm keeping myself on the time limit because I don't want to babble. But we're talking about faith, femininity, and finances. Faith, femininity, and finances. What does that mean? It means I am safe, I am provided for, and overflowing. That's what that means. So, how do I balance a soft life and financial stewardship? I'm literally in the thrust of that currently, and money is used to be and still is a topic I cringe and like run from. I get panic attacks when I check my bank account. And excuse me, I was fine before I came on here. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna need my body to figure it out. But money has always been a taboo topic for me, simply because I just didn't manage it well. And I spent every dollar that came in. I racked up debt like it was no other. In my previous lives, if you've watched, if you haven't, go ahead and do so. Um, I have literally, had exceptional credit scores, and I've had piss poor credit scores. So my relationship with money is ever evolving. And now that I'm in my late 30s, I am healing that relationship, that side of me with money, because I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to repeat the same mistakes that I've made in the past. And those lessons, as hard as they were and are impacting me now. And even more so, I don't want to pass down these terrible habits to my offspring. And in my second live before my last one yesterday, I talked about the easiest way to create new habits, or I'm sorry, the easiest way to eliminate bad habits is to create new ones. But you don't want to just create new habits, you want to create good habits. And even though the decisions I made financially assisted me in where I was at the time, it still was not a good decision to be had or to be made at that time, because now I'm feeling the ripple effects of that and cleaning it up. So, my purpose of this 60-day manifestation cleanse was to really release the gunk, the stagnation, the procrastination of my analysis paralysis. And money and my relationship with money is something that I am actively healing and embracing that journey, um, even to the point of budgeting. Like I want what I want. And if I am going to have the soft life with financial stewardship, I am going to have to be a good steward of what is given to me now. And I wasn't doing that, right? Which brings me to my next point, why faith is essentially my biggest business partner. Faith is your biggest business partner. You have to believe. And like I said, I am actively working on this. This is not something that I'm like, hey y'all, I'm healed. No, that is this is everyday work. And I don't succeed in it every day. However, I succeed in recognizing the patterns and choosing to do something different than what I've done in the past. For example, today, really want this lip gloss. I'm obsessed with lip gloss. This is why I have to launch my own lip gloss line because I'm obsessed. And I could have pulled the trigger on said lip gloss, but do I need it? No, because I have like 50 other tubes of lip glosses I have yet to finish, right? So, having faith in knowing the manifestations that I'm calling in will come to fruition. I know they will come to fruition because I am actively working on my healing journey. I'm actively doing the work. Hey y'all, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So, faith is your biggest business partner because in any and everything that you do in life, you first have to decide. You have to decide, hey, I'm going to do this. And then regardless of what obstacles pop up, you're determined. You may have a day where you regressed, you may have an obstacle that you have to overcome, but essentially you've made the decision that you're going to get yourself back up, dust yourself off, and try again. And in one of my lives, I keep referencing my lives because your girl be dropping gems. Okay, go back and watch the others. But one of my favorite songs, even though it's talking about love, I mean, but in everything, right? In everything, you just have to dust yourself off and try again. And y'all know my girl Aaliyah, RIP to her. However, I'm obsessed with the song. I might go listen to it. No, I'm going to listen to it before I go to bed tonight because that's my jam. I will play it on here, but copyright issues. Um, and she's talking about love. She's talking about a guy that she's dating, right? You know, what would you do if you try to get to me? And you can. Like, would you give up or try again? If I hesitate to let you, I mean, come on, sermon, come on, sermon. Okay, like the beats, the lyrics, affirmations galore. All right, and you can apply that honestly to anything in your life, like, and it doesn't have to be with somebody else, it doesn't have to be romantic, it can be platonic. But what are you going to do if, you know, the universe is really testing to see if you really want this, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why the affirmation, I am safe, I'm provided for and overflowing, is so monumental because you have to first believe. That is what honestly being anchored is all about. Manifestation journey, that is what it is all about. Like, you have to decide and you have to take root into something that no matter what happens, good, bad, and different, you're rooted, you know? Which leads me to my next point, how scarcity shows up in everyday habits. Y'all know why, real time, real rap raw, like Kevin Hart says. I could have gone live on here a lot earlier, but I'm like, oh, this bed feels so good. And do I really have to? Mind y'all, I've set a 30-day challenge to go on live here on YouTube for 30 days discussing my 60-day manifestation cleanse. I got the book from Armand Wiggins. If you don't know who he is, find out. However, I want to do it, y'all. I didn't want to do it. I did not want to do it. Another, I don't want to call it an obstacle, but another point of contention is actually sitting down and budgeting, right? You got to face the music. I have credit card debt up my bunda. If you Haitian, you know what that means, okay? And I, no lie, this is true story. I mean, everything I've been sharing is true. But I sat down, I made a decision, and I actually found a prompt in Threads and sat down, used the prompt in ChatGPT to map out all of my credit card debt and how I was going to pay it off in 1 year. 1 year, y'all. Excuse me. And I'm looking at it, I'm looking at this map, and I'm like, man, this is aggressive. This is so aggressive, but I can do this. And I'm going to do it. And in me deciding to do it, I know I'm going to have to give up certain things that I honestly don't necessarily want to give up. And so the moment I decided, I kid you not, you guys, the plan I set forth, which is supposed to take place December 1st, I will not be able to execute it on December 1st. Not by choice, but I literally feel like it's the universe literally laughing its ass off at me. Not funny. Um, how scarcity shows up. When I looked at that plan that I mapped out in ChatGPT to pay off my bad debt, I got anxious. I got anxious. I got nervous. I'm like, oh my God, will I, like, can I do this? I doubted myself. And that single moment of doubt caused an event to take place that has now taken me further away from executing on said plan. Yeah. And I wish I could say a lot more about it, but I cannot. And it's because the resources that I currently have at my employment are not enough to take care of everything that needs to be taken care of. So I have to put my plan on pause. So it's this kind of like negative loop of scarcity that, oh my God, like, well, if I do this, then I'm not going to have any money. And then boom, a whole situation that's causing me to, I intentionally manifested like this scarcity mindset, this scarcity event that's taken place where I now truly feel it's not even truly feel like it's actually happening, which is so fucking crazy. And part of my manifestation journey is instead of believing the worst, why not believe the best possible outcome? And that is something that I am also actively working on. And which leads me to my final point, right? Money manifestation through gratitude and service. Sometimes, you know, your manifestations aren't necessarily tangible things, they can be intangible things. And sometimes when you give the gift of, you know, when you give a monetary gift, sometimes you don't get that back monetarily. You may receive that through an action or um, an act, right? Or an action, same thing. So just being open to those possibilities and how, I'm allowing my faith to really drive. Like, even though I feel like I'm at a rock in a hard place, I am actively, daily, I'm working through this considering the best possible outcome and not allowing the feelings of anxiety and nervousness is anxiety, but and fear to dictate the outcome. I don't care what it looks like now. And it's almost kind of cathartic saying this out loud because I'll say it, in my mind, in my spirit, but it's something about saying things out loud. I've even started saying every morning my affirmations out loud, my prayers out loud, because the vibration, I want to feel whole. I want to feel centered and I want to feel joyful. That joy is really the key to manifestation. It is your answer. I've said it on my other lives. Go check them out. But this was kind of like therapy for me in a way. But through gratitude, through service, just last week, for example, this past, I want to say Sunday, I think, yeah, Sunday, I went to Walmart with my sister. Um, and we were checking out, or maybe it was Saturday, and we were checking out, and she was like, "Oh my God, like I literally just spent like with what I just spent right now, I literally just spent $500." And I'm like, "Girl, you better thank the Lord that you had that to spend. Bless that money going out so it can return to you tenfold, right?" And I'm like, you have to release the scarcity mindset. That was point number 3. Like, you have to release the scarcity mindset. I said, thank God you have it. When you swipe that card, you say, thank you, Jesus, or whoever you subscribe to. Okay. Like, oh my God, thank you. I'm so excited and happy that I had that to spend. I'm so excited. And that is where the gratitude really sets in, right? And then fast forward, we get home, everybody's moving and grooving, doing their own thing. And then she shoves her phone in my face and she's like, look, and she shows me a video. I forget the YouTuber's name, but she's also phenomenal. And she also too speaks about manifestation, and she's manifested so much. And I am in awe because I'm like, girl, if you can do it, I can do it too. But essentially, this YouTuber was was discussing manifesting and being grateful and being in gratitude when you spend money, when you do anything for someone, you do it from the heart. And of course, that will always come back to you tenfold. And I looked at my little sister and I'm like, I literally said the same thing to you at Walmart. And my little sister goes, oh my God, you did. Oh wow. And I'm like, this girl says it, and you're like, you need to watch this. No, you need to watch this because you were the one having the whole panic attack, swiping, talking about you spent $500. I'd be rejoicing that I had $500 to spend, you know? So that's really what I wanted to leave with you all today. I know, and then just being in my feminine energy, because I've had to survive for so long, I have learned, and still the destination is the journey. Oh, I'm sorry. I said that wrong. The journey is the destination. And I realize operating in my feminine energy, because I used to always, I'm like, but like, how do you do that? I used to always ask, like, how, like, just operate in your, when people would say that, like, operate in your feminine energy. Okay, but how? Okay, how? If I've never done it, or at least I don't feel like I've ever done it, how does one do that? And baby, when I tell you the the aura, the essence, the sheer just magic I feel operating in my divine feminine energy is indescribable. And I talked about it in my live yesterday. The best way, honestly, is to just be. And one of the things, what's his name? Joe Dispenza talks about. Um, in his books and meditations, is not in meshing yourself in what is happening. You know how they say, like, something, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. You want to operate in the for you realm. This is happening from, like, oh my God, something that I wanted to go my way didn't go my way. And instead of being in this, oh man, nothing ever works out for me, want realm, you're in the, wow, I don't understand what is happening or why this happened to me, but I am going to trust that what is meant for me will not pass me by. I am meant to learn what the lesson is, and I am open to receiving that lesson. And honestly, y'all, that's what I really tell myself. Like, when things are happening, it just, I look at it from a different lens now. Like, okay, yes, allow yourself to go through your emotions. Your feelings are valid. Allow yourself to feel if you have to take a day or two. But when you're able to revisit, like, okay, what is this trying to teach me? What am I supposed to learn here? Maybe you don't understand it, and maybe the experience alone in itself just begets you to see it for what it is and then release it. That's you operating in your feminine energy. You just be. You be. So, you guys, that was another story I was going to share, but that just completely slipped my mind. So, I say all of that to say, how are you budgeting and paying off something? Maybe it's a debt, or how are you paying it forward? Drop it in the comments down below. And how are you using your feminine energy and your faith and your finances to cultivate a safe space for your manifestations to come in? As for me, I'm operating in my feminine energy. I'm learning the lessons. I am not taking anything personally. I'm meditating. My budget is ready to go. I know what I need to do to get to where I need to be, and I am actively working through that. Um, and honestly, meditating. I am meditating, despite the challenges that come up, because I've had some health challenges come up. And I had an experience yesterday that was not ideal. Literally had me in tears. More so, I really wanted to claw somebody's eyes out. That is not operating in your feminine energy, right? But the beauty in truly not wanting to claw said person's eye out was allowing myself to feel what I was feeling and realizing that I wasn't in a safe space, and my body recognized that. And I allowed myself to be vulnerable. Someone took advantage of that and didn't reciprocate what I was giving. But that's okay, because nobody owes us anything, right? And so I allow myself to feel the feelings. I allow myself to nurture my inner child that was wounded and hurt. But I didn't allow that trigger that occurred from said person to dictate my actions going forward. Because I could have snapped, y'all. I could have snapped, because there was another lady that I really could have snapped on her. Because you know how you don't get to snap on the perpetrator, but then whoever comes in after that person gets all the smoke. Well, that lady didn't get the smoke, and I like that. For me, is an achievement. Pat myself on the back. My God, today we are growing. So, you guys, honestly, that's all for today's chat, right? Don't forget to like and subscribe so we can continue glowing together. Hit the follow, watch the other lives. I hope you like it, and definitely share, in the comment section, what are you either looking forward to paying off or being in service of or to, so that way it can become a faith-based practice. Or tell me how you're operating in your feminine energy, you know? All right, you guys, I'll see you next time. Bye. Ooh, now I have to